If you're suffering from aches and pains in your joints, your knees, your ankles, your fingers, your toes, your elbows, your shoulders, your back, or if you've been told you have arthritis or think you have arthritis and you want to know a natural way of making it go away without using toxic drugs, you clicked on the right video. Hi there, I'm Dr. Cori Stern. Welcome to my channel, Take Control of Your Health. If you haven't yet had a chance to subscribe to my channel and you want great health information on every health topic out there, please make sure to subscribe. It is my reward for doing these videos. And at the end, if you liked the material and it helped you, please don't forget to hit the like button. And most importantly, please be sure to share this with anyone that you know that you think would benefit from the information. So let's talk about arthritis, and I'm going to, at the end of the video, I'm going to tell you a quick story about what happened to me recently, the pain that I experienced and what I did about it and how I fixed it. So when we're talking about arthritis, we're referring to the kind of arthritis you get over time with age, a wear and tear of your joints. That's called osteoarthritis. That's the arthritis that we're talking about today. There are other types of arthritis, such as rheumatoid arthritis or psoriatic arthritis. Those are autoimmune diseases where your immune system actually attacks different parts of your body. And with those autoimmune arthritises, the immune system is attacking your joints and damaging them and causing pain and inflammation and even deformity. And we're not talking about the autoimmune types of arthritis, but if you do have that, or you want to know more about it, there is an autoimmune video on this channel that you could take a look at, because I'm just writing down to remember to put a link to it, because you don't have to continue suffering with those conditions. There is a way to reverse them. I've done it many times. So we're going to talk about the kind of arthritis that everyone ends up getting, and that's just simply a wearing out of your joints. You know, your body does wear out over time. It's just a part of being on this planet Earth. It's the physical nature of things. So first, let's talk about what a joint is. A joint is two bones that come together and allow movement. So it's like a hinge, or they can move in different directions. Your shoulder joints can rotate. It's actually the only joint in the body that can go all in every direction. Fingers can bend, knees, your back can bend forwards and backwards. So the more movement there is in a joint, the more potential there is for it wearing out. What is actually wearing out is the cartilage covering on the joint. So cartilage is something that allows the joints to move smoothly. So there's little friction involved. The cartilage is it has a glass-like texture. So it's very smooth, and it lets a gliding motion happen. Over time, that cartilage starts to wear down. And it can wear down to the point that you actually have the two bones on top of each other. It's called bone on bone. And there's a grinding that occurs with that. And then the bones start to wear down. And it can lead to pain and inflammation and a loss of mobility. But here's the good news. You can have arthritis and not necessarily experience pain. So not everybody that has arthritis has pain. And what's the difference? The difference is inflammation. So when you have inflammation, you're going to have pain. If you don't have inflammation, you probably won't have pain. And we're talking about chronic pain where you have it all the time versus acute pain. You injured yourself, you did something, you strained something, and it hurts for a couple of weeks. Okay, so I'm talking about chronic pain is going to be associated with inflammation. So the first thing we want to talk about is what causes inflammation. So if it's not an injury that you just had, you fell and hurt something, or you overused something suddenly, you lifted something too heavy. If it's not that, then it's caused by your lifestyle. So the most common cause of inflammation is eating inflammatory foods. What is inflammatory foods? Well, that's what this whole channel is really about, because eating inflammatory foods, which leads to an inflamed body, which leads to symptoms, and you can have any symptoms, including pain in your joints, which also can lead to disease processes. So in a nutshell, clean, nutrient-dense foods, things that grow in the ground, grow in a tree, have a mother, minimally processed, which means they can be cooked or sprouted or fermented, but nothing else. Anything else is no longer food. It is a processed product. If it's in a package, if it's in a box, if it's in a can, if it's frozen, it has lots of chemicals added to it, generally toxic chemicals, what we call bad salt, sodium chloride made in a lab, sugar, which is very inflammatory, all of these ingredients which will lead to inflammation in your body. We do recommend that you eat a clean, preferably organic, nutrient-dense diet. And in just a couple of minutes, I'll give you a link that you can go to find a small family-run farm that grows this type of food near you. So that's going to be number one, is eating the good food, not the bad food. In addition to that, you might want to consider adding collagen to your diet, unless you're eating animal organ meat, which is rich in collagen. If you're eating what we call nose to tail, so you're eating the entire animal, you'll be getting collagen that way. If you're not doing that, you might want to just add a collagen powder to your daily routine. I do have a video on collagen where I recommend the best kind of collagen to eat. And collagen makes up the part of the joint cartilage. So it will be helpful in restoring what's worn away. The next thing after eating a nutrient-dense, clean diet is staying hydrated. When you become dehydrated, your joints are going to hurt. They'll dry up, your muscles dry out, and you'll have pain. Muscles are like a sponge. When they're wet and when they're filled with fluid, they're flexible and they move easily. When they dry out, they become stiff and brittle, and they're damaged easily. And same thing with joints. Your whole musculoskeletal system needs to stay hydrated, not to mention your organs. Your heart, your brain, your liver, your spleen are all in fluid-filled sacs made of mostly water. Your body is made of mostly water. So drinking enough water to stay hydrated and avoiding over drinking substances that dehydrate you, like too much caffeine, alcohol, they pull fluid out of your body. And then if you're sweating in addition to that, let's say you're sweating and then you, I don't know, drink Red Bull or something, some energy drink with caffeine in it, you're setting yourself up for a problem. I do have a video on this channel about water, because the kind of water you drink is really important. So I will put a link to my water video as well. Next is getting enough sleep. I mean, it seems obvious, but you know how many patients I see that don't get enough sleep? And mostly because they don't want to go to sleep, because they're doing stuff, because they're on their devices and they're watching videos or whatever they're doing. It's just not a good idea for your health. You do most of your healing in your sleep. Your deep sleep is when you produce the hormone called human growth hormone that helps repair damage to your body. So if your joints are damaged, by everyday wear and tear, and you're not getting enough good sleep, you're not going to get enough repair. If you're not sleeping well because you're not sleeping well, because you're having trouble sleeping, you want to sleep but you can't sleep, that's a different problem. One is a bad habit, the other one is an actual issue that you need help with. I do have a sleep video on my channel. I will put a link to that in the description. Insomnia or sleep issues can be caused by many different things. And don't forget, if you want specific help with any of these issues, I do virtual consults. You can reach out to me at questions@drcori.com or go on my website, drcori.com. Cori's with an I, C-O-R-I, Dr. drcori.com, and request a virtual consult. And the next and last thing I'm going to mention about maintaining healthy joints is going to seem a little disconnected to what you would imagine, but handling stress better. Okay, so stress doesn't go away. It's a normal part of life. You're always going to have it, but the way you manage your stress is going to have a great impact on your health. So if you're not handling stress well, you're going to create more inflammation in your body. A lot of people are mineral deficient, and when you're mineral deficient, you don't manage stress well. So I also have a video about that. I'll put a link to that video as well. So if you have any of those issues, just go ahead to the next video to see what you need to do about it. So before I tell you my story and what happened to my fingers recently and what I did about it, I'm going to let you know that there is a link, if you live in the US, that will help match you to a small-scale family-run farm that grows and sells super high-quality, clean, nutrient-dense food. There's somewhere in the US, every body can get this food. If you live in what's called a food desert and there's nowhere around you that you can find a farm, this organization will match you with a farm that will actually ship the food to you. So some will deliver to your door, some have a drop-off location where you can go pick up your food. I use my office. My office is a drop-off location, so many of my patients and many people in the community come to my office to get this great food. So the link is going to be on the description of the video, but it is www.farmmatch, one word, farmmatch.com/Dr. Cori. If you're outside the US, there is a website called the Weston A. Price Foundation, WAP.org, and you click on find a local chapter, click on international, and they will tell you the closest place to locate and source nutrient-dense food. I can't stress how important this is. There's nothing more important for your health than eating the right food. So here's my story that I promised to tell you. Recently, I had to cook a lot of food in one day. Usually I have somebody that comes and helps me to cook, just because cooking is time consuming. When you're eating a good, healthy diet, you're not, taking shortcuts. There's no fast food here. There's no processed food that you just heat up. I don't use a microwave. I don't buy frozen stuff. So everything's from scratch. So I have somebody that helps me just to speed things up. And so I bought a whole bunch of fresh food, and the person did not arrive. So I had to do it myself. And I found myself making motions that I don't normally make. So I was chopping and peeling and stirring and whipping and mashing and who knows what all else I was doing. Now, I want to say that repetitive motions over time can contribute to arthritis. Okay, so if you do cook a lot, if you're chopping all the time, this motion, if you are typing, if you're texting a lot, if you're a runner, you know, these motions that you do over and over again will facilitate the process of wearing out your joints faster. So I do a lot of repetitive motions, just like most people do. I do a lot of writing, both with a pen and paper as well as on devices. And at work, I have a lot of repetitive motion. My job is physical. I'm also a chiropractor, so I am doing a lot of this kind of movement over and over again. And the thing is, I'm going to be 60 soon. At the recording of this video, I'm close to 60, and I haven't really had arthritis pain, right? Remember I said earlier, you can have arthritis without having pain. So I'm sure I have arthritis because just 60 years of repetitive motion, but I haven't been having pain. 2 days after I spent several hours cooking, I had terrible pain. I got these sharp stabbing pains at the base of my thumb. So the thumbs are one of the most common areas to become arthritic, just because most people use them a lot. The thumbs are one of the most used joints in the body. The big toe also is a very common location to get arthritis. So I had this horrible pain. It took me, I don't know, maybe a day to figure out what happened. Why was this happening to me? It actually scared me because it was so severe and I never experienced that before. And once I realized that the repetitive motion of chopping and peeling and everything I did was what caused it, I knew exactly what I needed to do. And this is something that I do with my patients all the time. So I took 2 supplements that within, I want to say 6 hours of taking them, the pain was gone. These supplements are completely safe and natural. I'm going to sound like a commercial here. I don't mean to, but I'm really passionate about fixing problems in the physical body, in your health, using things that are safe and from nature that won't cause any side effects. So I'm going to go ahead and screen share the 2 things that I used. And the first one is Boswellia complex. So Boswellia is an herb that comes from the frankincense plant. So most people have heard of frankincense, and it is a powerful natural anti-inflammatory. It also happens to be anti-carcinogenic, which means it prevents cancer. And it improves overall health. So it's anti-inflammatory for every part of the body, no matter what body part. So let's say you have an inflammation in your colon, in your intestines, anywhere that you might have inflammation, Boswellia can help you safely without side effects, as opposed to the drugs, the non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs like ibuprofen and Aleve, naproxen. Those drugs have really toxic side effects, and one of them is that they damage your gut. So this has the opposite effect. It actually helps to repair your gut. So this particular Boswellia has some other stuff in it. It has celery seed, and celery seed is really good for reducing inflammation in the smaller joints like your fingers. It has ginger, which is also anti-inflammatory, and turmeric, which most people know is anti-inflammatory. There's just a wonderful anti-inflammatory formula that works really well. And I have a lot of my patients on this. My dogs take it. It's safe for animals. And it worked wonders. And I took that along with this one called Salagesic. And Salagesic is white willow bark. So white willow bark is what we call a natural aspirin. It's what aspirin originally was derived from. The active ingredient in white willow bark is salicylate. And that is a powerful natural anti-inflammatory. It also helps with pain, so it's an analgesic, just like aspirin is, and it helps reduce fever, just like aspirin. So it metabolizes in your body into what's called salicylates, and that is the active ingredient that does all of those things. So this is a way of controlling pain and inflammation and fever without any side effects. It says here that it supports musculoskeletal system health because it reduces inflammation and supports healthy joints, helps with joint and muscle discomfort, maintains normal body temperature. In other words, if you have a fever, keep in mind that they can't really make claims on their website. And these two supplements are both from my favorite supplement company. If you watch me regularly, I talk about it all the time. That's Standard Process, which is the oldest nutritional supplement company in the United States. And their products are really effective and they're completely natural. They're just made out of food and herbs, so you don't have to worry about side effects. We have people of all ages taking these supplements. Pregnant women have to be careful with herbs. Let me just say that. So if you are pregnant, just talk to me first, send me an email and ask me about which herbs are safe to use. I can actually send you a list of herbs that are safe in pregnancy or those to avoid. But we have pregnant women, we have babies, children of all ages, people into their 90s that are able to take these supplements. They don't interact with other things for the most part. So you don't have to worry about really anything because, there's no such thing as a drug without a side effect. So you do have to worry about that. A lot of people take Tylenol, or which is acetaminophen, and Europe is paracetamol. Take that when they have pain. You get the pain that I had last week. Most people would have taken an over-the-counter pain relieving drug. And that Tylenol or acetaminophen is the #1 cause of liver failure in the United States. It is not safe, and I've seen a lot of people damaged by it. So here you have some options for, first of all, for preventing pain from arthritis, but secondly, for handling pain if you do have it without any side effects. So that's all for now. Once again, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you haven't done that yet, and hit the like button if this was helpful. And again, and the most important thing, this is what's important to me, is share this video with anyone you know that will benefit from the information so that we can help to get people healthier without harming them in the process. And I will see you again in the near future with more great health information. Until then, stay healthy.